this is Miss Allison, and this week we are going to be working on drawing and using our markers to color in a cactus. Actually, a variety of cacti. So I've got a picture that I've downloaded. It's from Wikipedia with a variety of different kinds of cacti, and I want you to pick the ones on here that you want to draw. So whatever you feel most comfortable with, go for it, okay? So I want you to pick several of these to put on your paper, and you can do multiples of like the same one. You just want to make sure that you're kind of spacing them out if you are doing the same ones. So I'm going to go ahead and draw out the ones that I'm going to do, and then I will get into the coloring part of it. So if you are more comfortable doing this with pencil, feel free to do that, or you can just start with your markers. But I'm going to draw mine out real quick, and the first one that I'm going to do is going to be kind of what you think of when you see a cactus. It's the ones that are like really tall and have the arms on them, and they have a good amount of spikes or thorns on them. And so I'm going to come out with this. Now, your pencil line should be a lot lighter than mine. Mine is going to be real dark because I'm using a charcoal pencil, and that way you can see it, but I normally would not just draw with this. I normally would get a graphite pencil, one, because this is not doing so great with like outlining, and then two, it's really, really dark, and so it's going to show up when I start coloring in on my paper, okay? So I'm just kind of laying this out. Let's see, we've got one back here. Oh, that makes me, it's like fingernails on a chalkboard. All right, so let's see, we've got one kind of in the back. I don't really like this line right here, so I may get me an eraser and erase that in just a second, but I'm gonna leave it for right now. All right, I've also got another one down here that I'm gonna add in, and it's one of the ones with a flower on the top, and so we're just gonna kind of go in like that, and I'm making sure that I'm getting some detail, but not a ton on here. Now, the flower on this one has like some really cool, that one is gonna drive me crazy. All right, so it's got some really cool like pointy petals on it, and in multiple layers. So what we're gonna do is go in, and I'm just kind of getting the middle of that ready to go. You can add several different layers to this if you want to. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, and then I think I'm just gonna leave these two just so I can show you what to do, but feel free to add as many as you want. I am gonna go grab an eraser and kind of erase that line because I don't want to color over it, and I don't want to leave it there. So I'll be right back. Okay, so with a charcoal pencil, that's about as good as I'm gonna get without really scrubbing it. So I'm gonna go with that, and we're just gonna leave it there. Now, it is up to you what you do with the background. If you want to use something else to create your background, you can do that, like watercolors or anything like that. This is mixed media paper, so it's going to hold up a little bit to watercolor and wet medium. But I'm mainly focusing on my cactuses, okay, or my cacti. And so what I want to do is I want to come in and start coloring in. Now, the markers that you've gotten are really cool. So we're going to do a little bit of using various colors, but we're also going to use the switch end of these markers. So you have one end that has color on it and one end that changes the color, which is your switch, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to go in with this dark green first, and I'm going to go make sure that I'm getting some of these dark lines in here, and these are fairly close together, and because you have a chiseled end on this one, it makes it super easy to go in and add details like this, okay? So what I want to do is just go in, I'm going to get as close to to that edge as I can. And we're gonna come back with a lighter green in just a minute. But I wanna go ahead and get this darker green in here. You don't have to press down real hard, and my lines are not gonna be super straight. That's okay. That kind of adds to the fun of, you know, making it look more organic, really. All right, so I'm gonna go in and add maybe one more line there, and then I'm gonna start on these in the background. So I'm not using the wide part. I'm not using this like a wide line. I'm using the narrow part of the chisel so that I can get that really nice clean line in here. And then we will come back with the lighter green in just a minute. I'm also gonna come in and do some work on this one. Kind of got those lines in there. All right. And then I want to use my lighter green to come back in and fill in between. So with this, I'm going to try this and see how it works to just kind of go over that dark green, and it's doing really well. So you could probably go either direction, lay down your dark green first or your light green, but I always like adding darker areas in first, and then that way I've got those shadows built in already. So I'm going around that one, and we're just going to continue filling this one in. I do want to make sure that I cover all areas, that I don't leave any white spots in here. And then I'm going to show you what to do in the next lesson, what to do with the switch part. So we want to get all of this filled in. That's why I said you can do whatever you want to for your background, but you do want to use these for your foreground. And you can definitely use them for your background too. You just want to make sure that you kind of break up the space in the background. So if you've done a lot of different cacti in there in your picture, then you can probably do that a lot easier than like I could do that on mine, because I have a lot of space in there. But it would take forever if I had to color all this in to show you, so that's why I'm only doing a few of these. I'm actually going to go in with my yellow on this one. It's a little bit lighter cactus, and so I'm going to just use my yellow on here, and then we're going to do the flower in just a minute as well. Okay, and I may come back in with some of that darker green again. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, so that one's done. I think I'm gonna leave that, well, I don't know. Let's go in and just see what it looks like if we add some darker green on here. Maybe just a little, make these lines just a little bit wider instead of having them be narrow like on the other one. We'll just make these a little thicker. All right, so it kind of looks like a yellow watermelon now, but it's gonna be really cool. So I'm gonna go in now with a pink, because the flower on here is like a pink color, but I'm not gonna do every petal in this pink, and I'm not gonna do the whole petal. All right, so got some pink in there. Now I'm gonna go in, actually gonna use this purple on down here. As if I were doing this with a regular pencil, the pencil would not smear as much as it has on here, which is why I was saying I'm not gonna fill in all the way, just because it is smearing a good bit. And so I don't want to mess up my markers. I want them to be able to last me a good while. And I don't really want to smudge my pencil. All right, so that's done. I'm gonna go back in with the light green in here. Okay, so now that I've gotten those drawn, we are ready for lesson 2. So come back once you've gotten everything drawn out, colored in, and watch lesson 2, and we'll talk about what to do with the switch end of your markers. All right, see you in a little bit.